Welcome to The Awakened Heart, a podcast for healing women. A place where your voice matters, your body is sacred, and your journey home to yourself is always honored, no matter how winding the road. I am Autumn Moran, licensed professional counselor in the state of Texas, life coach in Texas and beyond, 500-hour trained yoga instructor. But ultimately, I'm here to be your companion on this divine sacred path we call healing. Today's episode, I think, is a little delayed. As I was sitting and thinking about everything I've talked about so far, what directions I want to go in, and just all of it, I have not had an episode on just defining neurodivergence, claiming it, right? Giving it awareness and giving it space. So today's episode is just that. I'm going beyond ADHD and autism. I'm here for all that encompasses neurodivergence, what that means, what that looks like, just some fun stuff. Share this with anyone who's like, I'm not neurodivergent, or share this with anyone who might think, or like, oh, I think I'm autistic, or I'm not officially diagnosed. It's okay. There's a lot of us. But here we go. Let's dive in. Because being neurodivergent simply means that your brain works differently from the quote-unquote typical brain. This isn't about brokenness, it's about difference. And that difference comes with both unique challenges and fucking incredible strengths. If you've ever felt like you were swimming upstream in a world that feels designed for everyone else but you, this is for you, my dear. I'll explore what conditions fall under neurodivergence, the strengths of the neurodivergent brain, misunderstanding and masking that lead to burnout, and how to find accommodations and resources to live fully as yourself. I have a cup of coffee. I will be taking sips, so if you hear like a little bit of a pause, I'm just taking a sip. It's my last cup of coffee this morning because I ran out of milk and I don't feel like going to the store, and I'm trying not to deliver. So here we are. Just letting you know who I am today. Neurodivergent and all, right? I'm not masking. This is who I am and who I'm showing up as. I'm not going to sit here and create an episode on neurodivergence and unmasking and not be my real authentic self. Here we go. Let's dive in. So what does neurodivergent mean? It's an umbrella term for people whose brains diverge from the neurotypical way of processing information, emotions, and the world. It's about diversity of thought, not deficiency. Just like biodiversity keeps an ecosystem strong, neurodiversity makes humanity stronger. So the most common conditions people are aware of is autism and ADHD. But then you have a lot more. You have obsessive compulsive disorder. You have Tourette's syndrome. You have sensory processing differences, dyslexia, dyspraxia, and dyscalculia. And we'll dive into a little bit more with not officially under the umbrella, but often considered under the umbrella is PTSD, chronic PTSD, and bipolar disorder. Because while they're not neurodevelopmental, they profoundly shape how our brains and nervous systems operate. So I want to go through these individually, give a description, strengths, challenges, and try to reframe it just to give you the episode, right? All right, autism spectrum. It means your brain processes the world differently. Often noticing details others miss, feeling things more intensely, and having unique ways of communicating, learning, or connecting. It's not about being broken or less capable. It's about having a different quote-unquote operating system that comes with challenges like sensory overload and social misunderstandings, but it also has its strengths like deep focus, creativity, and honesty. I hear you. Honesty? Isn't everyone honest? Are neurotypical people not honest? Sadly, I'm not saying all neurotypical people aren't honest, but they have some sort of social rule that they put on a face, and authenticity is not natural to them. So if you agreed with any of these questions, welcome to the spectrum. Strengths: incredible focus, honesty, creativity, deep pattern recognition. Oof. Talk about the pattern recognition. These are the individuals that can clock the bad guy while everyone is celebrating them before, like, the veil falls, sees through the veil. This is the person that says something in an office meeting and gets ignored or gets dismissed, and then months later, that same solution is the one that solves everything after a whole bunch of shit has happened and money has been lost, right? Superpowers. Challenges: sensory overload, lighting, fabric, taste, texture, repetitive sounds, electricity. Difficulty with social norms, like, this is where mirroring comes in, where as a young age you learn to act like Susie in the office or Susie in second grade, because when you acted yourself, your whole friend group turned their back on you, thought you were weird or made fun of you or was very concerned with your actions. So mirroring and masking to fit in are some of the challenges. So the reframe of this isn't a lack of social skills. It's a different social language. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. It means your brain has a different rhythm of focus and energy. It can feel restless, easily distracted, or forgetful with boring tasks. But it also has bursts of creativity, quick thinking, and hyper-focus on the things you care about the most. It's not about a lack of attention. It's about attention working in a different way. Strengths are high energy, adaptability, hyper-focus, spontaneous creativity, and unique problem solving. ADHD challenges are executive dysfunctioning, time management, planning, energy regulation, organizing. It's tough. And the reframe for this one is ADHD brains aren't broken. They just thrive when they work with their natural rhythms. An ADHD brain loves three things: novelty, newness, and reward. If you have a mundane task that you keep putting off, or something that's very simple and it's just too much in your brain to start, add novelty, newness, or reward. If it's that phone call you got to make, then get a special treat or special drink while you're on the phone, or get a coloring book that you can color while you're on hold or while you're talking, or have a reward afterwards. I did the phone call, so I'm going to go for a walk. I did the phone call, so I'm going to go pick me up a new cup, or I'm going to go get me a little ice cream. I don't know, whatever feels good to you. Novelty, newness, and reward can help you help the ADHD brain. A lot of the times it's about underwhelm, whereas autism, it gets easily overwhelmed. ADHD, a brain can be very underwhelmed. The mundane, Monday through Friday, go to job, be family, and do nothing exciting or fun sucks the soul out of a neurodivergent ADHD brain. So, if you're finding that resonates, you're underwhelmed, my dear. Do something fun. Learn something new. Teach yourself something new. Volunteer. Do something within the community. Donate some clothes. Go buy some feminine products and call the local domestic violence shelter. Do something outside of your norm that's novelty, newness, and reward. I mean, you've got good verbal skills, creative and strategic thinking strategies. I love neurodivergent brains. Okay. So, and then we'll do dyslexia, right? When your brain mixes up letters and words, making reading or spelling tricky, but you often see stories and ideas in creative ways. And you often can remember. Your memory is impeccable. Dyspraxia, when your body and brain don't always sync smoothly. So things like handwriting, playing sports, playing video games, playing musical instruments, or like keeping a steady rhythm or beat feel harder. But dyspraxia often helps you be better at thinking and planning. Dyscalculia, for many people, it can feel like the brain short circuits when faced with anything beyond basic operations like addition, subtraction, or simple multiplication. This is me. I don't know. Here lately, my son has just been talking to me about numbers and dates and having conversations, and I so love it. But it's just like I short circuit. I get overwhelmed and I just want to shut it down with a force, a vengeant force. So someone telling a story with numbers in it, difficulty estimating time, money, and measurements, but you're often strong at creative or big picture thinking. So dyscalculia is funny. When someone asks me, how far is it, or how long is it, or what time, I don't know. Do people really know those answers? I don't. If it has a number in it, if it's not written down, I'm not dealing with it. So yes, after hearing some of this, you might be like, oh, is that what that is? Let's move on to obsessive compulsive disorder. It's not just about cleanliness or being particular. It's about the brain's inability to shift out of intrusive thought loops and the compulsion that temporarily relieve the anxiety they cause. So this makes you persistent, incredible at attention to detail, and often highly creative and reliable. Your challenges? You feel trapped by repetitive thoughts or behavior. You feel shame around compulsions and exhaustion from trying to control or hide the symptoms. OCD brains are wired for patterns and thoroughness, traits that, when supported, can be super, super powerful strengths. Tourette's syndrome is a neurological condition that causes involuntary tics, sounds, movements, or words. It's more than just someone cussing out and being loud like we see in society. Their strengths: someone that experiences Tourette's is often quite resilient, humorous, creative, and has strong coping skills honed from navigating misunderstanding and stigma. They often experience physical exhaustion, pain from the tics, or social discomfort. People with Tourette's often develop deep empathy and adaptability because they've lived life visibly different from the start. They've always kind of been under a microscope, right? Even if it's just within themselves, that's got to be tough. So sometimes considered neurodivergent is bipolar disorder. This means your brain experiences mood and energy shifts that can change and range from deep lows like depression to high highs or elevated states like mania or hypomania. It's not just mood swings. It's a unique brain chemistry that can both bring challenges and strengths like bursts of creativity, big picture thinking, and deep emotional insight. It's considered part of the neurodivergent umbrella due to its impact on brain chemistry and emotional regulation. In manic states, hyper states, elevated states, the bipolar mind often works fast and expansively, connecting ideas across different areas like art, music, or problem solving. In reflective or lower depressive states, there's often deep emotional insight, the ability to sit with complexity, and to understand life from multiple emotional angles. This combination can make someone with bipolar incredibly innovative, intuitive, and capable of thinking outside of traditional boxes, like seeing a 3D version of a problem when most people only see the flat surface. It's hard to manage energy cycles. It's navigating stigma is difficult because most people hear bipolar and they assume they're crazy or unstable or unsafe. So there's a stigma to it. And the other challenge is maintaining balance in a neurotypical driven world. It's hard to manage your energy emotions, mental emotions that waver if not supported by medication and routine and nutrition and sleep. That's hard to keep up with because in a neurotypical 9 to 5, 40-hour work week, you're on from 9 to 5 all the time, never wavering unless you use PTO. Whereas a bipolar brain may have energy from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday maybe, but Thursday, Friday are a shit show. And then Saturday and Sunday, don't even ask me to do anything because I just survived 3 days of hell. And if we're honest, 5 days of hell because Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 is just the silliest shit I've ever heard of. Dumb shit. All right, PTSD, complex PTSD. PTSD arises from traumatic experiences that rewire how the brain processes danger, safety, and memory. And CPTSD develops from ongoing or repeated trauma, so chronic trauma. And the reason it's considered neurodivergent because trauma alters the nervous system, often leading to hypervigilance, emotional dysregulation, or dissociation. Ways of being that diverge from the neurotypical patterns. For strengths, survivors often have heightened intuition, strong empathy, and deep resilience. Their challenges are often pretty difficult. Flashbacks, anxiety, and feeling different from those who haven't lived through the trauma. Tell me that's not a neurodivergent experience. But the reframe of it all is that trauma may shape the nervous system, but healing brings incredible wisdom and strength. So that's a lot, right? That's a lot of things under the neurodivergent umbrella. It's not just ADHD and autism. There's more to it. So every neurodivergent brain carries hidden superpowers. Creative solutions that others overlooked, going back to the person in the boardroom, the meeting room, suggesting something and it only to be used months later that could have saved time, money, effort. The ability to notice details or patterns that others miss. Again, this is when you clock someone as dangerous while everyone else fawns all over that person, only for it all to eventually find out that this was a bad person all along. Strong emotional depth and strong values, a strong sense of justice, depth that can't handle shallow conversations, can't talk about superficial stuff without exhausting your energy, but give me some real deep issues, talk about life, talk about change, talk about the good in the world, talk about things that are important to you or to the person you're talking to. Let's get into it. Such depth. And a hyper focus on passions, leading to incredible skill mastery. Hello info dumps, hello collectibles, hello crafts that turned into businesses or gifts to give because it's a hyper focus or something that's so passionate for you. On top of that, a neurodivergent brain can seem scattered or unruly at times, but the truth of it is, a neurodivergent brain sees shit as it is, calls it as it is without fluff, and that's authenticity. And that is what the world needs. I'm not talking about saying shit to be mean and feeling free to say it. I'm talking about calling injustice when you see injustice. And that's what the world needs. All our neurodivergent brains seeing all this unjust in the world and naming it and forcing it to change by using our superpowers to change policy, to sway I don't know, friends, family, to use our intellect to help make this world a better place. But also, in a simple term, we make this world a better place by just existing, because we do see outside the box. We are very creative. We can cut through the bullshit, and we are authentic beings, and that is so beautiful. So what's the cost of masking when it comes to everything in the umbrella of neurodivergence? Masking means hiding or suppressing your natural traits in order to appear normal or to avoid being kicked out the tribe, essentially. It's exhausting because it's asking you to live inauthentically, which does not come naturally to you. Autism, forcing eye contact, mimicking social behaviors to fit in, rehearsing conversations, or enduring sensory overload like loud music or crowded places while smiling through the discomfort. That's all masking. Don't do that. Get some headphones. Get some earplugs. Get some sunglasses. Find a quiet place. Say you can't go. Go for a limited time. Let your eye contact be wherever it is. You don't have to look in their eyes. Look at their forehead, their hair, their ears, their mouth. Stop rehearsing conversations. That's a hard one, but that can save you a lot. Just be you. ADHD is over-preparing or overcompensating to hide forgetfulness, pretending to be calm when the mind is racing, or staying late to finish work because time blindness threw you off. Staying late, not eating lunch, not getting up, only working from the time you sit down to the time you get up to breathe. And then you didn't go to the bathroom, and then you didn't feed yourself, and then you didn't take care of yourself. So what happens? You go home and you do what you have to do as a parent or caregiver, and then you exhaust yourself in your bed or your couch. Dyslexia avoids reading out loud or volunteering for a task involving writing or pretending to get it when instructions aren't clicking. They just keep from standing out, right? Give them a visual. Dyspraxia, laughing off clumsiness or coordination issues to mask embarrassment, or avoiding activities like dancing, sports, or handwriting that might reveal motor challenges. I identify with dyspraxia. I'm the one in the back of the Zumba class, completely offbeat, completely halfway through the turn when the rest of the class is already through the turn. Video games do not come naturally to me, not because I don't like them. I am a good video game viewer, but I cannot play them because my hand-eye coordination is non-existent. I love music. I've tried to play guitar, I've tried to play piano, I've tried to play drums. And I have to say, none of them were easy. None of them did I ever make a tune. I, as a yoga instructor, would love to play a sound bowl. Just for funsies. Spiritual woo-woo aside, it's just a beautiful sound. And another yoga instructor laughed at me. He was like, wow, that's the easiest instrument to play. Well, it's not for me. So thanks, but no thanks for your information. All right, I'm back on board. Dyscalculia, avoiding conversations about money, measurements, math, or nodding along to numbers you don't understand to avoid judgment. Like seriously, deer in headlights, film over my eyes, like disconnected, not there. OCD, hiding rituals or compulsions like checking things repeatedly or mental counting, or downplaying intrusive thoughts to avoid stigma. Tourette's, holding back tics in public until it hurts, resulting in physical or emotional pain or exhaustion just to avoid stares or ridicule. Bipolar, over-controlling emotions to seem stable, hiding energy shifts or depressive episodes, or suppressing creative bursts to appear professional. And PTSD, Masking hypervigilance by acting calm in triggering moments, or avoiding talking about trauma because others may or may not understand. Masking leads to burnout, anxiety, depression, and a deep sense of disconnection from you, from yourself. When you're constantly acting like someone else, your body and mind get so fucked up because it doesn't make sense. Your brain is yearning to be wild and alive and just be free, and you're telling it to be like Susie, who is boring and blah. So here's the reframe. You are not broken. You're tired from playing a role that was never meant for you. Your real self does not need fixing. It needs space to be seen and supported. Accommodations aren't a luxury. They are a right. You don't need to earn them by burning out first. Accommodations are tools that help your brain thrive in a world designed with neurotypicals in mind. So like at work, flexible scheduling and/or hybrid remote work options to manage energy highs and lows. This is under ADA, American Disabilities Act. Noise canceling headphones or access to quiet zones to reduce sensory overload. Written instructions, step-by-step guides, or recorded meetings to help with memory or focus. Chunking tasks, breaking big projects into smaller steps with realistic timelines. Using tools for reminders to support executive functioning. Allowing standing desk or movement breaks to release restlessness and increase focus. Clear expectations and feedback. No vague figure it out instructions. Buddy systems are pairing with a colleague for collaborative check-ins to avoid overwhelm. Freedom to use fidgets, doodle, or take movement breaks during long meetings. At home, create a sensory-friendly space. I mean this. Soft lighting. Get rid of all the LED lights in your house. I mean it. Fucking throw them away. Get the old light bulbs. Get the amber ones. Get a soft lighting, whatever works for you, but get rid of the fucking LEDs. You might have to search a little bit. I'm not supporting the rainforest platform, but you can find them. And if you have to go to the rainforest platform, it's better for you because LEDs fuck up your health. As a neurodivergent person, they shouldn't be allowed. Okay, sorry, I went off. Weighted blankets, calming sounds, low stimulation zones, some mood lighting, some colored lighting. You can also invite curtains like blackout curtains if you need it, pillows, stuffies, nice, comfortable clothing. Also, lists, timers, or visual reminders for chores or routines. Use meal kits, grocery delivery, or batch cooking. And when I say batch cooking for a neurodivergent, can come good or bad, right? Depending on where you're at on the spectrum or on the umbrella. Maybe 2 to 3 days of meal prep of batch cooking is good. But a whole week's worth of the same few foods can backfire. So batch cook in the sense of like freezer cooking, having casseroles to pull out or things like that, sure. But meal prepping for a whole week, don't subscribe to that if that doesn't fit you. If you can meal prep for 2 to 3 days, that's beautiful. Voice to text apps are smart home tools. If you're into that, I don't like those smart stuff. I don't talk to anybody electronically, but if you don't mind that and it helps you, I totally support it. Meet yourself where you're at. That's my conspiracy side coming in. Gosh, sorry, I'm being very authentic today. How about creating a recovery space for overstimulation, like a quiet room with low lights and no screens, even if that's like your closet, right? Even if that's your bathroom, even if that's your bathtub where you close the curtain, keep the light off, and sit in the tub for a minute. Bring a blanket, bring a pillow, as long as it's dry, right? And then break household tasks into small wins. Instead of doing everything in one day, maybe you sweep in Swiffer one day, maybe you do the counters and dishes one day. But also, another little tip for household things. The thing you have to do, set a timer. And I want you to time yourself while you're doing it. Not at a fast pace, but at your regular pace. And then when it's over, you now have information for the future for your executive dysfunctioning to function a little better. Because when you say, oh, the dishes are, I got to do the dishes. How long does that take? Oh, that only takes me 10 minutes, 15 minutes at most. Okay, I've got 3 hours to rest, so I can do a 15-minute dishes, and then I'll come back and read my book. Your brain has more information. Self-awareness is key. Time yourself on your task. I promise it will help you in the future for getting up and doing the dang thing. In relationships, communication preferences. I need time to think before I respond, or text me instead of calling when it's not urgent. Something like that. Just expressing what you need as far as communicating. I'm not available after 7 p.m. I'm not available until 9 a.m. Use safe words or signals when sensory overloads, shutdown, or triggers happen. So I like to recommend a code word, and my code word, for no particular reason at all, is pineapples. So if I'm getting overwhelmed, if something's happening, pineapples. Then they know. Everyone knows she's overwhelmed. Nothing's personal. She's got to take a break. Talk to it in your family. Let everyone get on the same page with the code word so that we can all use it. Chances are, if you're a neurodivergent, you're not the only one in your household that's neurodivergent, so it can be helpful all around. Build shared routines to reduce anxiety. Having a plan for meals, a plan for chores, or even a plan for downtime. Please plan that as well. Ask people to ask you what feels supportive right now instead of guessing what you need. Just encourage your loved ones to be curious and just ask you what you need, what support you need in the moment. Forgetfulness or spacing out during conversations, or forgetting to take the trash out, or forgetting your keys. It's a brain difference, not a character flaw. It's not on purpose. It's not personal. Schedule no people days or solo time to recharge without guilt. This is even if you're in a relationship. Like, you need some space, even from your partner, to just have some solo time. This has nothing to do with your relationship going right or wrong, good or bad. This is about just the honest to goodness information that each individual soul needs some solo time. And if that scares you, you need solo time. You need to work on that. You need to get comfortable with being with yourself and having fucking fun with yourself. And please be honest about your needs. I can't handle a crowded restaurant. Can we do takeout or a movie night at home? Learn to create relationship agreements about overstimulation or meltdowns. If I shut down, it doesn't mean I'm mad. It means I need a reset. It's not personal. Something's happened and sent me overload. What does that look like? What are your triggers? Talk about these things. Identify these things. There's books out there for unmasking and neurodivergency. Devin Price wrote Unmasking Autism. Edward Hollowell wrote Driven to Distraction, and it's about ADHD. podcasts like this one and beyond are neurodivergent affirming that shows that normalize your experience. This is a good place to have a good resource. I mean, this is the first time I've defined neurodivergence, but every other episode is about it. Online support groups, local neurodivergent meetups, they're popping up more and more where they're just craft nights and you just come and do a craft. There's lots of things. And then therapies and life coaches like me. Look for those who understand and support the neurodivergent brain instead of forcing some sort of fucking normal. Your brain isn't wrong. It's wired for brilliance, my dear. The real work is not to erase your differences, but to unlearn the shame that came from being misunderstood. For so many neurodivergent women, the hardest part isn't the condition itself. It's the years of being told you're lazy, careless, messy, too much. Reframing means telling the full truth. Your ADHD is not a failure of discipline. It's a different clock. Your autism isn't a lack of empathy. It's a deeper, more nuanced kind of connection. And that right there, right? I wrote this and I was like, I want to really expand on this because it's such a cliche, right? That autism is lack of empathy. I have yet to meet an autistic individual or someone with autism that does not hold a large space of empathy for themselves, for the world, for things happening, for life. It is a deeper connection. It is a more authentic connection. Your empathy quite often can get you in trouble because you see or know the good because you're so good and you project that onto people that don't deserve that. So no, it's not a lack of empathy. It is quite the opposite. A huge, large container full of empathy. Your bipolar mind isn't chaos. It's a mind that can hold both depth and intensity. Your dyslexia isn't a flaw in reading. It's a different way of seeing patterns and ideas. Empowerment, it starts with recognizing that your way of thinking and feeling has value. It always has. It's not about fixing your brain. It's about finding tools, environments, and people and accommodations who see your strengths and don't demand you to shrink yourself to make them feel mightier. This reframe isn't about toxic positivity or pretending that there are no struggles. I'm simply saying, yes, this is hard, but it's also part of what makes you and me extraordinary. Living with freedom means choosing work that plays to your strengths instead of grinding down your energy. Living with freedom can mean designing routines that fit your brain's rhythm, not what productivity culture demands. Living with freedom can also mean saying no to systems, spaces, or relationships that ask you to erase your real self. The true power comes when you stop asking, how can I be normal? And you start asking, how can I build a life where my brain is celebrated as it is? As this conversation comes to a close, I want to leave you with this. Your brain doesn't need to fit someone else's blueprint to be valuable. You are not failing for struggling with systems that weren't designed for you. Your strengths, your creativity, your sensitivity, they are not accidents. They're part of your design. If you've spent years trying to fix yourself, I invite you to pause and ask yourself, what if I'm not broken? What if I'm just different? And that difference is a fucking gift. A couple more thoughts, journal prompts, thought prompts for you. Where do I feel most at home in my own brain? What is one area of my life where I could stop forcing myself to be normal and start working with my natural rhythms? Would it be how you wear your hair, your makeup, your clothes, the shoes you choose, what you watch, what you do on your free time, your days off? And last thought prompt, journal prompt. What would it feel like to see my brain as a creative partner, not a problem to solve? As always, my dear, I thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this episode spoke to you, if you heard yourself in these stories, please share it with someone who needs this reminder too. Our stories matter. Your way of thinking matters, and you don't have to do this alone. Take a nice deep breath, exhale the pressure to perform, and remember, your brain is not wrong. It's yours, and that is fucking awesome. I'd love to hear from you. Message me, comment, or follow. If you've heard this and you thought, I needed this. This makes sense to me now. I need more information. What are these accommodations you're speaking of? How can I help myself? What? Message me. Fill out the link in my link tree for a consultation for us to work together. I offer private, virtual sessions, therapy if you're in Texas, life coaching if you're outside the state or abroad. Whether you're healing your trauma, navigating a big life shift of unmasking your lifelong neurodivergency, or just ready to come home to yourself, I am so grateful to hold space for women each and every day, just like this, just like you. Once again, you can fill out the consultation request, free 15-minute convo to see if we're a good fit in my link tree. There's also a Spotify playlist for women who are healing, just wonderful music and more resources. Overall, my dears, you are never too much, never too late, and never too far gone. And you don't have to figure it out alone. I'm right here with you. Until next time, may you be happy and free. May mine and your healing ripple outward to bless the world with happiness and freedom. Take care of you, and I'll see you soon.